Writing numbers in essays. When you begin a sentence with any number, just spell it out. 186 people took part in the fair. 1962 is the year I was born. Note: some might make an exception when it comes to years. 1962 is the year I was born. Hyphenate compound numbers ranging from 21 to 99. 65 students raised their hand to volunteer for the community project. 22 individuals did not qualify for the contest. Use figures for numbers that have 3 or more words. After 256 hours of flight, the plane's engines refused to keep working. The textbook is awfully expensive. It costs $43.50. We only harvested 7,346 pounds of corn this year. I just need to buy 3.65 liters of paint for this project. Hyphenate all fractions when they are written out. The student left 1/4 of the exercises unanswered. 1/3 of the tomatoes was rotten. Note: phrases such as a third and a half must not be hyphenated. When using numbers with 4 or more digits, a comma is necessary. 10,455 potatoes went to waste after the winter storm. 33,456,564 books have been printed in that country since 1900. Note: just place the comma 3 spaces to the left and continue to do so every 3 spaces or digits until you get to the last set. Do not include the decimal point in the counting. When writing a sum of money under $1, it is not necessary to use a decimal point or a dollar sign. That huge candy just cost 80 cents. That huge candy just cost 80 cents. Leave out the word dollar when a figure is preceded by a dollar sign. My college tuition will cost $25,000 over the course of 3 years. Use the words noon and midnight instead of 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. You can also use the following variations of a.m. and p.m. Some people prefer to put a space between the time and a.m. or p.m. For the top of an hour, you can use any of the following formats. Use numerals for the time of day. The train arrived at 5:44 p.m. Do not go to bed past 10:30 p.m. Use figures for mixed fractions when they are in the middle or at the end of a sentence. Write them out when they begin a sentence. The school predicts a 7 1/3 improvement in students' learning gains during the upcoming test. 2 and 1.5 points is not a big deal. When writing decimals above 1, the best practice is to use figures. The distance between point A and point B is 2.3 times longer than the distance between points C and D. When writing decimals below 0, the best practice is to use a 0 in front of the decimal point. I only need a spacer that is just 0.50 inches to finish this job. Do not use the word "and" to write out 3 or more digits. Do use the word "and" when any decimal points are included. The factory manufactured 2,052 candles for the opening ceremony of the Celestial Games. We counted 2,052 and 21 cents from that box. Commas are not necessary when you write numbers above 999. The club collected $2,250 for the homeless. Do not capitalize decades when writing them out. The best music in the world originated in the 70s. The 80s featured some of the best technological advances in the entire world. Place an apostrophe in front of the incomplete numeral of a decade when using figures. No apostrophe will go between the number and the S. During the 70s, men loved to wear highly colorful shirts. Note: some people use an apostrophe after the number of an incomplete decade numeral. During the 70s, men loved to wear highly colorful shirts. Write down decades as complete numerals without the apostrophe. During the 1970s, men loved to wear highly colorful shirts. Single-digit numbers must be spelled out. However, some people do not like to do this. In that case, no apostrophe will be necessary. I have purchased tile sets of 4s and 7s for this kitchen design. Use the formats below for days and years. January 20th, 2022. AD 766. In 2000. The 18th century. For months, use the following formats and no period. For dates, use the following formats: June 2021, June 3rd, 2021, 1962 to 2000, 2021-22 school year. With percentages, use the formats below. Spell out the percentage if it begins a sentence. 76%, 0.6%, 90% of the students have completed their tests. Sources: Writing numbers in essays. Thanks for watching.